can take it away from you. And so I think that, college always help to have an education, not just going to college, but to get something out of it,
That's
to
right.
be able to learn and apply it so that you can be successful in life.
For the entrepreneurs that we have in our community, how is it so important that they kind of like be willing to accept the failing but still come back? And how did that affect you? Did you have some times where?
Well, it's still tough right now.
Correct.
I mean, it is not easy, having your own business. I mean, you never know what the next 3 months is going to be like.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you just don't know. And small business is hard. And it takes a lot of hard work, dedication, sacrifice, and commitment, and support. And sometimes it takes failing to be able to get to where you need to go.
Yes.
So you can't be afraid to fail. Otherwise, you won't do anything. And so I think it's important to understand that when you go into something that's new, that there's always a potential that it will not work. But you have to be willing to change and be willing to stick with it and do what your heart and your desire, is telling you to do, and have faith.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
I think it's important to have faith in God and to believe, that you believe in what you really want to be, And a lot of times people don't realize what their intended purpose is until later in life. But once you figure that out, it makes it so much easier, because you're happy and you enjoy what you're doing. I mean, I think that's more important than anything.
Mm. When your firm, you partnered recently with a global firm, Populous.
Populous, yes. Mm-hmm.
What did that mean to be able to partner with a global firm like that?
Well, I think, there are so many different areas of the architecture profession. And Populous is a firm that they've been involved in Olympics, being able to prepare for the Olympics. They've probably done the last several Super Bowls they've been involved in. Most major event stadiums, whether it's a football stadium or a basketball arena, Populous, and only a handful of companies like Populous are experts in doing those kind of facilities. And having the opportunity to work with Populous gave us a whole different perspective of a different area of architecture that we were not that familiar with. I mean, it's so much that goes into event architecture. And my partner, Luis Tachiki, he actually led the effort working with them with the DNC here in Charlotte.
Okay.
And he did an outstanding job. And we learned, all the logistics and the planning associated with a major event. It's mind-boggling. You just don't realize all the work that goes into that. And that's what we were able to learn. And it's significant. I think that dealing with security, all the wiring and the cabling, and making sure that as you are doing these major events, that people are safe, that if there are any emergency situations, people can get out. It's a tremendous amount of organization required to actually pull off one of these events. So Populous do it very well, and they do it all over the world.
I sense you have a lot of passion for our community. Where do you get that passion from?
Well, first of all, coming from where I came from, I grew up in a low-income community like most of our urban communities today. And God gave me the opportunity to become an architect, and I happen to be an African-American architect. And so there are a lot of communities, like the one I grew up in, that needs a lot of help. And I decided that I was not going to be just another architect who avoided those type of communities.
Yes,
And so I wanted to use my experience, the talent that that God allowed me to attain, to try to make the biggest difference that I possibly can. And that is helping those communities believe in themselves and helping them realize that the only way their community is going to change is they have to help make it happen, that no one is going to come do it for them. And that was one of the things that I was able to try to do when I was on the county commission, that government can't do everything. I mean, people have to want their community to change, and they have to be the ones to make it change, and you have to get others to help you. And so it's all about empowerment and access and understanding, what's available to you so that you can help your neighborhood and your community and your family. And so that's what gives me that passion, because I just want to utilize what I've been given to try to give back. And what's so exciting about it is that I've been able to do that and make a living doing it. And that's more important to me than anything. I mean, the fact that I was able to convince my wife to move into a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house in a neighborhood that was transitioning, that meant a lot to me. I could have moved somewhere else and not have to deal with some of the concerns that people deal with when they live in urban neighborhoods. But to see the community change, and I just want to shout out to our former judge, Shirley Fulton, who had a lot to do with Wesley Heights and the success that that community has had, and how her commitment to the community helped to create the kind of community that Wesley Heights enjoys today. I think people move in and now they take it for granted, but it's not always been the neighborhood that it is today, and it still has a ways to go. But the fact that she committed to that neighborhood a long time ago before anybody believed in it, and because of that, now others have come and they're able to enjoy that success. And it's really close to downtown, very accessible. The values have gone up in the neighborhood, and people are enjoying the community, and so I think there are several communities like that throughout Charlotte that, you have to have a believer and somebody to believe in it, for it to get to reach its full potential.
We're running short on time. Where do you see Neighboring Concept 5 years from now?
Well, I would hope that we are able to continue doing what we're doing now. We started off working specifically in neighborhoods, helping neighborhoods, but what we found out is that we had to have more balance. So we do provide more traditional architecture today, and we want to continue to do that. We want to continue to give back. We volunteer. Many members of our staff donate their time on boards and commissions, and they're able to help nonprofits. We do some pro bono work to help nonprofits who can't afford to hire an architecture firm. And so I would hope that our firm continue to grow, and we continue and with the passion that we have to try to make our community better, and that we're able to move into other areas throughout the Southeast region and provide some of those same services that we do here in North and South Carolina.
With the passion that you have, I know you're a 4-term county commissioner. Do you ever feel about going back into politics?
Every time someone asks me that, and my wife is around, she answers for me. She say no, but I never say never. I enjoyed the 8 years, the 4 terms I served on the county commission. Right now, I really have no desire to get back involved in politics other than to support her and to support others that I think are really good candidates for our community. But it's once you've been involved in politics, it's in your blood, and it's going to continue to be in my blood, and I keep that door open. So if I do decide to run, for something, I'd never say that I said I never would. So, it's a tough thing to do. I mean, I think people, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is what our elected officials sacrifice and what they have to compromise in order to serve the public. And a lot of people just don't realize that. But it's a lot of compromise and sacrifice with time with their family and other things that they do to do that job. And one day, never know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Darrel Williams, thank you, sir, for coming on the show. And anytime you want to come back, I really appreciate it. I'd be honored to have you come back on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Darrel Williams, co-founder, Neighboring Concept. You be encouraged.